In America, two people on a motorbike are already pushing it. In Vietnam, I've seen 5 people, an entire family, riding on a single bike, and nobody even bothers to look twice. That's just one of 10 things that will completely flip your idea of what's normal in daily life. Not because one country is right and the other is wrong, but because these two nations are answering the exact same question: how do you live a full life? With two completely different formulas. I'm Vietnamese, I live here, and I'm going to show you the real picture, not the one from a guidebook. Before we dive in, here's something I want you to understand. Vietnam isn't behind America, and it isn't ahead either. It just operates on a completely different logic, one shaped by history, climate, population density, and how Vietnamese people define family, time, and money. You'll notice throughout this video that the answer to why do Vietnamese people do that usually has nothing to do with scarcity or abundance. It comes down to an entire society quietly agreeing on what actually matters. And that difference, not who's right or wrong, is what makes this worth exploring. 1. Traffic. The motorbike is king. In America, the car is the default. In Vietnam, there are tens of millions of motorbikes on the road, more than the entire population of many countries. You'll see a family of 4 piled onto a single bike, dad driving, mom in back holding the baby, the older kid squeezed in the middle. Nobody thinks twice about it. This isn't some rare one-off scene. It's something you'll witness every single morning, on every street, in every city and town. Motorbikes squeeze through impossible gaps, carrying everything imaginable: refrigerators, sheets of tempered glass, even a litter of baby pigs. I once saw someone hauling an entire blossoming peach tree taller than the driver himself, weaving through rush hour traffic without breaking a sweat. In America, you'd need a pickup truck for that. Honestly, the first time I went abroad and saw people using a small pickup truck just to move a few cardboard boxes, I thought it must be some kind of regulation, because it looked wasteful to me. But traffic isn't the only thing that'll make you rethink how you live. Let's talk about food. 2. Eating out is cheaper than cooking at home. In America, eating out is a luxury expense you have to budget for. In Vietnam, a bowl of pho from a street stall can actually cost less than what you'd spend cooking it yourself at home, once you factor in gas, electricity, and time. Part of the reason is that vendors buy fresh ingredients in bulk daily, and almost every street has multiple food stalls competing on price. That's why so many Vietnamese families barely cook at home on weekdays. It's not laziness. The economics simply don't add up in favor of cooking. Walk down any small alley in the evening, and you'll see nearly every household picking up takeout instead of standing over a stove. This has created an interesting side effect. Kitchens in many modern Vietnamese apartments are so small they can barely fit a pot of instant noodles. It's not that architects forgot to plan properly, it's that for many people, the kitchen simply isn't the heart of the home anymore. But money in Vietnam has an even more fascinating side to it. 3. Nap time is serious business. In America, napping at your desk could get you fired. In Vietnam, most companies and schools have a 1 to 2 hour lunch break. And napping isn't just tolerated, it's actively encouraged. Many offices dim the lights, pull the curtains, and some employees even keep a small pillow tucked away at their desk. From elementary school kids to office workers, you'll see entire classrooms and entire offices slumped over, fast asleep at midday, and it's completely normal. Some primary schools even hand out small mats so kids can lie flat on the classroom floor for a real nap, not just resting their heads on a desk. The logic here is simple. A well-rested person performs better in the afternoon. So instead of treating naps as laziness, Vietnamese people treat them as an investment in productivity. Sleep is sacred here, but privacy? That's a completely different story. 4. Multiple generations under one roof in America. Turning 18 usually means moving out and living independently. In Vietnam, having grandparents, parents, and kids all living under one roof isn't the exception. It's the standard. It's not unusual to find a 3-story house with 3 generations living together, sharing dinner every night, and sharing the same living room. Kids typically live with their parents until marriage, and sometimes even after. This isn't about being unable to make it on your own. For Vietnamese people, it's a way of expressing love and responsibility. Many young couples, even when financially capable of moving out, choose to stay so their aging parents won't be alone. This isn't just a habit. It's rooted in the East Asian concept of filial piety, where caring for aging parents is seen as a moral duty, not a burden. It's a value taught from childhood, passed down through folktales and the wisdom of grandparents. But a full house also means a style of communication that Americans might find refreshingly or jarringly direct. 5. Haggling is a life skill. In America, the price tag is the price. Period. In Vietnam, especially at traditional markets, haggling isn't just accepted, it's practically a social ritual. The vendor quotes 30 to 50% higher than the real price. You negotiate it down, everyone laughs, you shake hands. It's part of the shopping experience, not a conflict. Some bargaining sessions stretch 5 to 10 minutes just to knock a few cents off an item, not because the money matters that much, but because the exchange itself is part of the fun. And speaking of money, how Vietnamese people save is a whole different world too. 6. Gold is the bank for many families in America. Saving means bank accounts, stock investments, retirement funds. In Vietnam, plenty of families trust gold bars more than bank accounts. It's not unusual to see gold shops packed on days considered lucky for buying gold, with lines stretching out the door like it's a major annual event. Buying a house, getting married, wedding dowries, these are often priced in gold taels rather than dollars or dong. It's a habit that survived generations of war and inflation. Even in casual conversation, people still ask, how many taels was that house, instead of asking for the cash price. This habit isn't random. It's collective memory from decades of currency collapse, when paper money could lose its value overnight, but gold never did. For the grandparents' generation, this wasn't an investment strategy. It was a survival lesson passed down through the family. But there's something even more shocking than money: how Vietnamese people treat the elderly. 7. Nursing homes aren't really a thing. In America, a nursing home is a common, socially accepted option for the elderly. In Vietnam, sending aging parents to a nursing home is still widely seen as unfilial, though attitudes are gradually shifting among younger generations, especially in big cities where life moves faster. Children, particularly the youngest son or a daughter, are typically responsible for caring for aging parents at home until the very end. It's not uncommon to see families rearrange their work schedules or even switch jobs entirely just to have more time near their aging parents. Now let's talk about something every first-time visitor to Vietnam has to relearn from scratch: how to sit. 8. Low plastic stools are gospel. In America, you sit at a tall table on a chair with a backrest. In Vietnam, an entire street food culture runs on plastic stools barely 8 inches off the ground. These stools are cheap, stackable, easy to clean when it rains, and most importantly, they can turn any sidewalk into a restaurant in a matter of minutes. You'll see elderly folks and office workers in suits alike squatting or perched on tiny stools, slurping noodles, sipping coffee, chatting for hours, completely at ease. This isn't a symbol of poverty, it's part of the cultural identity, so much so that many upscale restaurants deliberately keep this stool style around for the nostalgic vibe. And if you thought the stools were surprising, wait until you hear about going to the doctor. 9. No appointments, no prescriptions needed in America. You have to book a doctor's appointment weeks in advance, and prescription medication requires, well, a prescription. In Vietnam, you can walk into any pharmacy, describe your symptoms, and buy most medications without a prescription. In fact, many pharmacies still sell antibiotics over the counter, even though official regulations require a prescription. For many people, this is the fast track for minor ailments like a cold or sore throat, instead of taking a day off work just to see a doctor. Private clinic costs are also much lower than in America, though service quality varies quite a bit by location. Some private clinics in city centers have equipment on par with international standards, while small rural clinics might only have the basics, a gap worth exploring in its own video someday. And finally, number 10. Probably the most surprising thing about the rhythm of life here. 10. No tipping culture in America. Not tipping is practically an insult. In Vietnam, tipping isn't a default expectation. Servers aren't standing around waiting for your leftover change, and their wages don't depend on it. At some upscale restaurants catering to international tourists, tipping is becoming more common, but at everyday local spots, almost nobody expects it. This makes dining out, ordering rides, or taking taxis in Vietnam a lot less mentally exhausting, though tips are still welcome if you feel like leaving one. For many first-time visitors, this is actually one of the most pleasant surprises. No more mental math figuring out 15 to 20% on every bill. So, after all 10, what did you notice? Vietnam isn't a poorer version of America. It's an entirely different system, one where family comes before privacy, where time is measured by shared meals rather than work calendars, where money and trust are placed in tangible things like gold instead of numbers on a bank screen. Both ways of life come with a price tag. American privacy comes bundled with loneliness in old age. Vietnamese family closeness comes bundled with less personal space. Neither system is fully optimized. Each side trades something away to gain something else. So if you had to choose more personal space or more loved ones around you as you age, which would you pick? Neither side is entirely right. And that's exactly what makes understanding another culture so fascinating. You're not searching for who's more civilized. You're searching for why each place chose to live the way it does. This is just 10 out of hundreds of differences I could tell you about. There's so much more about Vietnam that no travel guidebook will ever tell you. If this video caught you off guard, wait for the next one, where I'll walk you through things that are completely normal here in Vietnam, but flat out illegal back in your country. Subscribe, and I'll take you deeper into the real Vietnam, not the version you find in books.